It's Mars versus Venus.
Then on the macho like Randy.
Yeah.
The chopper go out for granted.
That's how we do it.
Well, understand. I got broads in Atlanta. Choose it to be in the family. Credit card
And a fighting move.
Family.
Yeah, you woo down the place now, man. You know, Jerry can knock to that question anyway.
Woo!
We're talking today. Would you want to know or should you
does
tell?
Does it matter?
Or does it matter?
How many partners your significant other
had before you?
Yeah. Does it matter? This day and age.
Guys, get it straight there before you. You know, some of them might call, what about the ones you have while? We're not talking about while. We're not talking while with. We're talking before.
Javan says, only remember that old TV show, 8 is enough. I would rather 3 is company. But women nowadays motto is now like the movie 51 Dates.
Oh God. Hey. Does it matter, guys? Really and truly in 2016. Does it matter that she had a couple dudes before you? She had a guy in Atlanta, one in Miami, one in Cedars. Well, let's leave it Trinidad. She had a man in Mova, she had one in she had about 4 in San. You understand? She had two in Europe.
She calls her gang war and so.
That's not funny. That's
your real thing. That's the thing that start off with woman bacchanal, Jaiga.
They don't go down that road. Right? Let me keep remember the woman telling you meet chef yesterday. Think about the meat chef, Nikki. That's it. Anytime you're going straight, I will remind you about the meat chef, right? Think about the meat chef.
Jaiga's a dog.
Think about the meat chef.
The meat chef.
Guys, does it really matter though? How much sexual partners your significant had?
Of course.
Before.
Tino says, cricketer.
Tino Best, you have on the phone there?
Tino said, I slept with over 600.
600. Because they thought I was an American football player.
But he take it or he get it, right?
Yeah, so basically, when they come around and say, you play America, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You play America, yeah?
I'm with the Dallas Cowboys.
So he just get girls by default.
You look like a fella.
You look like a dude who used to play American football or who played American football, so he just stick it. You understand?
Trisha says, doesn't matter to me. I don't care to know. Once you're over them all and only into me,
that is the politically
me alone.
correct approach, my friend Trisha. What you need to normally say is, your past is your past, honey. I'm concerned about you now and our future.
My boy here say, hey, any number more than me is already too much. Better you don't tell me nothing.
Nah, but you real insecure, boy.
That man just don't want to know.
Nah, man.
They just don't want to know.
Well, they need to accept all it be so what it is, dog. What is that? At the end of the day, you know the world is right now, especially in this nowest time. The circuit, the market right now, is so fickle. All they think oil prices down. If you let oil price alone, and the things in the grocery high, the conch real high too, because the place is so fickle. Women are in search of comfort and love, and in doing that,
they go take 2 bread and some cheese on the side.
The things is the numbers go up. That's what it is, because they're all in search of love.
All in search of love.
Women is a loving creature, as we all know, and in search of love. And sometimes in trying to find that right person, you meet a couple wrong ones.
To get to the rose, you had to go through some thorn.
Yeah, and in this case, some of them get them the she told us go through patch of bushes, forest and things them going through. The lost like the man.
My boy here say, I want to know. So I have an idea how much time she play in the Pro League, because I might have to train a little harder.
He doesn't only go fat match. He never played in the Pro League yet. The only fat match you're playing in, my brother. No, seriously, it happens.
I think it do matters, because if he's a boxer, something really wrong there.
If he's a boxer,
yeah.
Nah, man, a man allowed to be a boxer.
You see,
no, it's not double standards. It's not double standards.
It is double standards.
No, it's not.
It is, and I'm glad you brought it up. Society has always been like that. It's okay.
No. Remember, we only have one part to play with. Only have a couple.
Men could sleep with how many women they want.
No, I'm not saying so. No.
They get pats on the back. Women go over 3, 4. Oh, she's shaky boy.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's the double standards.
You all have
talking
more
about
to preserve
society
than us. That is the reason why we have built it that way over the years. Because your man have one functioning part, right?
And what is that?
One part that he has to use, right? You all know it have different body parts that men lust over. And if it is fondled too much, it could be hampered now. That's the problem. You understand?
I have no idea what crap you say. Look at raw face. We're going, Kino going,
So you see, I'm thinking about the woman in mid-shop. That's why I don't really want to elaborate now. But for real though, for some dudes,
they can't handle it.
If you're not mature within yourself, you're not mature enough to deal with it, it's going to be a problem. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem.
I think most women have lied in terms of numbers because somehow men always want to know.
I think every woman lies. And watch me, here's the number one line for girls, right?
We have asthma? What is this?
It's always have a heavy breathing. I had 2 real serious relationships in my life. It's always, yeah, 2 real relationships.
We just bring maths. It's almost like a cancel off the point something.
It's always 2 real relationships.
Because we wrong down.
In my life.
We wrong down.
I can never understand why. I have encountered so many women and all of them have the same story. It starts with a deep breath.
You see, mentally
I had 2 real relationships and my last relationship, he hit me so much. So you're always frightened to get into the 3rd one because that 3rd number now, it's like, oh my God.
No, but you see, most
because
women...
they're talking to the 3rd man and they're frightened because, giving yourself a 3rd time is so hard.
But this is probably the 7th time.
The 7th?
That is
so
what I'm saying.
About the 17th.
When you see, we telling you about the 3rd, we it's almost like, okay, women count the serious ones, right? So I was in 3 long-term relationships. That is what we go talk about. We won't talk about the other 7.
We won't talk about when you go 50.
Yeah.
We know you go 51 Thursday.
That
you went
count.
home with Malan, and then Saturday you went to party and you went home with James. You ain't gonna talk about them.
That don't count. If you and I on the wee road. My boyfriend, I asked, Mary says, and my boyfriend admitted to me that he had 27 partners. I had 4, poor me. I asked and he answered. She said, but now she is like, she don't care. She's at the point in her life where, I think it's a level of maturity.
That's what I said at the beginning. It's a level of maturity. For you to meet someone, especially if you're, because there are some women that honestly have had little to none in terms of relationships and meeting men. They're women who was because of how they are bringing, they might have their sexual relations might have started later in life than some. There's some hot young girls, you meet them, they're telling you since they're 15 they're doing rudeness. You understand? And
then some have just been unlucky in love, as you said.
That's the next thing. Unlucky in love and been searching for love.
Tried relationships and it just doesn't work out, so you have to let go.
And I know there's a joke that people say that was the girls with the daddy issues, right? If they tend to say the girls with the daddy issues end up with the most set of sexual partners. Then there are ones who, like you might meet a young lady now, late, like mid-30s, and son big. Yeah, like, hey, she's like, hey, so I see my brother. No, this is my son. He's your son. Oh, when you make it, you was 12. Then you encounter girls like those. And people like them, you find that.
But, many of them were young and had babies and learned from it and brought up their children.
And surprisingly enough,
ready to live.
In my experience, women like that, they had next to no sexual partners. The guy who they had the child with,
that was the end of that.
A long-term relationship for a while at bust up, and then they just been there. And you might come into their life and be like the 3rd person, and they will always be standoffish and kind of hard to deal with. There's still a woman like that out there. It's unfortunate. Again, it's circles, and the circles you roll in. There's some circles out there that a little while. Neighbor
says, generally for me, it doesn't matter because men will always have more partners than women. But I ain't going with no man who had 600.
No, not necessarily. Because I was brought up with the same way like you all. For a lot of years, I only had 2 serious relationships in my life, and I'm sticking with that. And I have 2 chance. So at the end of the day, you cannot deny that
I think it matters. It tells me how soft her head is. I want to know if to trust her. For him, it's a trust issue.